Hello friends, and welcome to the weekly moon update. In these videos, we talk about the moon energy for the current week. In this video's case, we are talking about May 18th through the 24th. And we also talk about a little bit of astrology. This year, it seems like we've had a lot of big astrological shifts that we need to talk about. And this week is kind of no different, but the good thing about this week is it's just regular old planets moving into a new sign. Nothing too crazy until the end of the week because we've got Uranus involved, which has been shaking things up a little bit. We've got Mars, Venus, and the Sun changing signs this week. So this is the last few days of Taurus season. So I want to make sure, did you build your nest over the Taurus new moon? Monday and Tuesdays are the last days of the Taurus sun season. We're still in the Taurus moon cycle, but I just want to make sure, did you create your nest? Do you have your safe and comfy, cozy place to recharge and to reconnect? And if you do, I hope you're ready to jump into the moon energy for this week. Hello, editing Allison here. I just wanted to add that, I normally always put timestamps in the description box below so that you can jump around to whatever time of the week that you're watching these videos. But this week is really kind of strange and with a lot of void of course times. So the timestamps in the description box are kind of all over the place. But they're still there if you need them, if you want to jump around. But it was hard to kind of label them. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to find something specific for this week. So because we had our new moon last week, we've got a waxing crescent moon for pretty much the majority of the week. We're actually not technically at our first quarter moon until Saturday. And then Sunday will be a waxing gibbous moon. So kind of still low energy starting off this week. And we're also starting off this week with void of course energy, which, as I don't know what the heck is going on this year, but we've had very long void of course times this year. So we're pretty much in void of course all day Monday until we move into Cancer at 9:46 p.m. in the evening. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say about Monday. It feels like very slow moving energy because first of all, we have the waxing crescent, but the new moon was only on when was it? Saturday. So we've still have it's just a tiny little sliver of light. So not much light, not much energy happening here. And then with Mars moving into Taurus on Monday, that's slowing things down. Mars was one of the many planets that was in Aries all at once. So there was all this fire and all this energy. So now with the planet slowly moving into Taurus and then into Gemini, it's past Aries. I think we're just going to have this slow moving grounded energy. We also have Venus moving into Cancer on Monday, and Cancer is that loving, caring, nurturing, mothering sign. So we really have with Taurus and Cancer, we have the divine masculine and then we have the divine feminine. So this is very much embodying, taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical body and taking care of your emotional body as well. And then, the moon is moving into Cancer. So we're starting off this week with all this kind of loving, caring, nurturing energy. So I really do hope that you created some sort of nest or sanctuary for yourself during these days, because I don't know, that it feels like a gift. It feels like we've gone through so much this year, and we're given this kind of pause with Pluto going retrograde, which happened last week, or was it last week? I can't remember. And just allowing ourselves to kind of rest and integrate all of the craziness that has been happening. So really a slow start to this week as we're in void of course most of Monday, Cancer all day Tuesday, and another long void of course time on Wednesday. This week kind of feels like there's this absence of an energy. So the moon's going to start to transition on Wednesday at 9:26 a.m., but it won't be in Gemini. Oh, I'm sorry. It won't be in Leo. I was looking at sun in Gemini. It won't be in Leo until 10:48 p.m. So all day Wednesday is going to feel kind of like in the void. However, we do have the sun moving into Gemini. Gemini season, here at Gemini season, it's the end of the spring, beginning of the summer. So it has this sort of playful energy. Taurus had us maybe get a little bit serious and grounded and slow. We're talking about like the plants establishing their roots, getting grounded, taking one step at a time. And this is the time of year where, because the plants are established, that traditionally you would be able to like, not work as hard, take some time off. It's summer vacation time during Gemini season. So having the sun move into Gemini allows us to kind of lighten up a bit. This is an air sign that takes us from the heaviness that is the earthy Taurus and back up into the air, blowing in the breeze. Like, this is Gemini season, and Gemini energy is like that summer breeze makes me feel fine kind of energy. And then plus with Leo, this is going to feel like a short Leo time, because 10:48 Wednesday evening and most of Thursday, but as you can see, the void of course is going to start at 6:05 p.m. So that's not even a full 24 hours to be officially in Leo energy. So make sure you're putting on your best, your favorite outfit, your extra bright lipstick, and strutting your stuff on Thursday. Like, we're almost to the first quarter, so hopefully we're going to start to move a little bit with this airy energy and this fire Leo energy. We're finally crawling out of our nest, crawling out of our hibernation, hopefully with this energy by Thursday. Well, this is a very, very long void of course time. I had to double, triple check it, because we've got starting void of course at 6:05 p.m. Thursday, being in void of course all day Friday until 2:57 a.m. Saturday morning. So very much an absence of an energy with the moon energy. But I think what we're really going to be feeling is the sun and Uranus. Uranus just moved into Gemini. So basically all the planets that are what we've been experiencing this month is since Uranus moved into Gemini, all of the planets that normally follow the sun are moving into Gemini also. So we had Mercury conjunct Uranus as it moved into Gemini last week. And now that the sun is moving into Gemini, it is conjoining with Uranus. So the sun is our outward expression of energy. It's the external energy. The moon is the internal. So having this external energy conjoin with Uranus, it feels like this burst of energy, like a firework. Like, I mean, I guess we're talking about air, so I'm thinking just like this burst, this pop of something very external happening, something that is going to shake us up a little bit. I don't know what that could be, but I think that there was a reason for the nest that we needed to create on the new moon in Taurus. All right, so I pulled some tarot cards to help me understand what the sun conjoining Uranus can mean for us collectively. And we have the Page of Swords, which is finding clarity for me, finding some understanding about something, and we also have the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like it's finding some understanding or rationalization around needing community and needing charity, needing to have compassion for your fellow humans and for lifting and supporting each other, having this give and take, and not just this take kind of society. The message I'm getting with the Nine of Pentacles, though, is that like we're not quite there yet. Like there's still some things that need to crumble, still some things that need to be dismantled so that we can rebuild. I also got the Nine of Wands, which tells me that like we need to not give up hope, to keep believing, to continue to stand up for what it is that you think is right. We also have the Four of Wands, which was saying to me that like we will look back at this time and recognize that like this will, I don't know, it feels like this time will be, why can I say this word, in memoriam, like a cell, like I don't know, I'm envisioning like in the future we'll have a holiday that marks this time as the time of liberation, the time that we freed ourselves. And the last card that I picked was Six of Swords. So, you know, moving from chaos into calm. So maybe it's that we need this long void of course time to not be wrapped up in our emotions so that we're able to find that clarity when Sun conjuncts Uranus. But then the moon will move into Virgo, so that helps us organize, compartmentalize things, and going into the weekend. Whenever we have a Virgo moon on the weekend, for me, it feels like doing chores, like cleaning out the closets, uh, throwing expired food away out of the fridge. In the fall, it feels like in Virgo season, it feels like raking the leaves. In the summertime, it feels like, I don't know, putting out your patio furniture, dusting off, hosing down all the pollen that you've accumulated this spring. So having this week filled with so many void of course times, I very much feel like the message here is to not be emotional, to not get wrapped up in your emotions, lost in your emotions, which is something that I really struggle with. This is why I follow the moon, so I'm able to like understand how I'm feeling. But it feels like, I mean, void of course all day Monday, void of course all day Wednesday, void of course all day Friday. So on Tuesday and Thursday we're allowed to feel our emotions. On Tuesday we can practice self-care and also process your feelings, you know, with Cancer energy. And then on Thursday we're allowed to like feel happy and joyful and confident about something. But the rest of the week, it's like absence of energy, absence of energy, absence of energy, or in between, in liminal space. Oh, and then Saturday, we're allowed to get our to-do list out and start making a plan. All right, so our card today is coming from the Everyday Witch Oracle, and we have an Earth card, Ground and Center. The world is full of distractions that pull us in a million different directions. Sometimes we just need to stop and ground, centering ourselves so that we can stand strong and rooted no matter what we face. Grounding is good preparation for magical work, but it also helps us if we are facing any challenging situations, or even just getting ready to leave the house and deal with daily life. Action. Do something today that grounds you. For some people, this is yoga or meditation. For others, it's sitting outside under a tree. Figure out what grounds you and then do it. Breathing is always a good place to start. So if you need to ground, take 3 long, slow breaths and then let it out. Remember to feel the strength of the earth below you as you breathe. The divination of this card is, have you been feeling scattered and frantic? Yes. This card is a reminder to ground and center yourself on a regular basis, not just during magical work. Look at the witch on the card. Doesn't she look serene? Oh, I thought that was a man. Am I reading the wrong card? Ground and center. That's a man with a beard, right? I'm reading the right card, aren't I? Ground and center. Ground and center. Look at the witch on the card. Doesn't she look serene? That kind of calm often feels out of reach, but grounding and centering can help move us in that direction. So the reason I wrote the numbers on here, 4 and the like earth symbol down here, because it's really hard to find the cards, you're like, especially because so like when I look at this card, I see all the air element around them. So I'm like, oh, this must be an air sign, but it's not. Ground and center is an earth card, according to the guidebook. And so I had to put these on here to so that I knew like this is Earth and it's number 4 because I don't know why the numbers weren't on there. But man, I mean that makes me feel like this isn't, but it's definitely ground and center. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so magic. Sit or stand on the ground with your feet firmly planted. Outside if you can, but inside will do. Hold a crystal in your hands in front of your core near your belly button. Feel the strength of the earth element that formed it and take that strength into yourself, starting with your core and then moving down to your feet to connect with the ground below. Close your eyes and visualize yourself sending roots down into the ground. Imagine that the gods have left a message for you under the earth. What does it say? And be sure to thank the element for its gifts. So I like that this card tells you to like just discover what grounds you. Like it recommends yoga or meditation, sitting under a tree, being outside, breathing. Like grounding is different for everybody. I've really found for me personally that I connect, like water helps me ground. It helps me just feel cleansed and calm, and then I can like get rooted. But I oftentimes use an anchor. Like I visualize like this huge, heavy, weighted anchor that like holds me down because a lot of times I feel like I'm kind of floating off into outer space. So like this anchor is like my tether. Just adding that in there to encourage you to feel like find what grounds you. Like the roots used to not like have imagining roots coming out of my root chakra just never really worked for me until I decided to start trying an anchor. But then I also learned about a swamp tree. I don't know if anybody's ever seen, or I think it's called a swamp cypress. And like their roots go deep down into the water and they almost have like this like cave like structure that kind of surrounds the tree. Like it has like really big thick roots that like go down into the water. So I use a swamp cypress as visualization to help me get grounded too. I don't know, just saying that in case anybody struggles with, with being grounded. Also, I chose this deck. I'm glad we got an Earth card because I chose this deck because I felt like we needed some Taurusy, earthy. I felt like we needed some like stability to anchor into at the beginning of the week with the last few days of Taurus sun season, because like with all of this Gemini, we're going to feel like we're floating around, like we're going to feel like we're blowing around in the wind, especially like with I think with Uranus and Gemini, that's just what it's going to feel like for the next 7 years. So I think it's important to like get grounded here into the earth while we're in Taurus season so that we're not blowing around. Also, we have a root chakra. Oh, no, wait, we have a sacral chakra card. Inspired innovation. You have the ability to resolve tides of envy and fear with stability. You are courageous and enthusiastic, creating what needs to become in order to move forward with your life. Your energy is inspired and activated by your innovative drive, and in turn, you inspire and motivate others to achieve their fullest potential. You are a beacon of light and possibility. What new ideas are coming to you, and how can you bring them into being? Revel in this moment of inspiration and let it help you birth new beauty into the world. So again, this is a sacral chakra card, but it very much fits like what I was just talking about of like needing stability when we are in tides of envy and fear or chaos and turmoil, the craziness of the world. So it feels like we can anchor into our sacral chakra as well. I have been hoping that we're going to be seeing some like really wonderful art come out of these chaotic times, because I mean I think often like art imitates life, and sometimes like the only thing you can do to process everything is to like create something, or channel what you are feeling into something creative. So the crystal they recommend is gold stone, which I believe is a man-made stone. So kind of an interesting one to talk about in terms of like creating stability. Like this is a man-made crystal, like a created stone. Do you get the point of what I'm saying? And the herb is cinnamon, which is cinnamon's such a nice herb to work with all the time. So this crystal angelite, I have trouble distinguishing. I mean, I can tell the difference between angelite and celestite, like physically, like they look different. Celestite is more like transparent, and then also there's blue calcite. So I have trouble like distinguishing between. Oh, I wonder. You know what? I have one nice big chunk of blue calcite, or I've always assumed it was blue calcite, but I mean it looks very much like this angelite. So I don't know if I have blue calcite or angelite. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a Let's Get Stoned video with celestite, angelite, and blue calcite and see if I can tell the difference. So angelite is a stone of compassion, peace, and calm. It facilitates clear celestial communication, attracts angelic presence, and acts as an anchor for angelic guides. Angelite is a throat chakra stone that encourages self-expression, compassion, and calms the nervous system. That is so interesting that like we've been talking about stabilizing and anchoring, and this card actually says acts as an anchor for angelic guides. The affirmation is, I am open to receiving the knowledge of my angels and guides. So that's interesting that like the tarot cards that I was pulling about this Uranus and in the sun and Uranus conjunction had the Page of Swords, which is a card of like clarity and finding clarity, like clearing the clouds away. So even though we're having like these planetary transitions like Mars and Taurus and Venus and Cancer, sun changing sun seasons, and the sun conjunct Uranus, it feels like we have the capacity to stabilize amongst the up and down and the roller coaster that we've been on this year. I mean, maybe it's that like everything that happened at the beginning of the year, now we're kind of like we've integrated it. Like now we're kind of like I don't know, it feels like we're more capable now of handling things. It feels like whereas like at the beginning of the year, it just felt like, this is too much. Like I can't handle it. And it felt like we were all over the place. But now it just kind of feels like instead of constantly getting hit with things, it feels very much kind of like the image on this card of like standing strong and stable in the center while the chaos is like swirling on around you and finding your own peace and calm and stability. And even if that means you have to retreat to your nest, your dragon's nest, to rest and recharge, and then you can come back and stand strong and stable. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have created your nest to retreat to rest and recharge. I hope that you're able to stay grounded and stable as we make our way through the rest of this year. And I hope that you are finding clarity and connecting with your guides and feeling inspired to create something new in the world. So thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Holy moly. Let me double check this void of course time. It's May 21st, 1805 on the 21st, to 3 or 2:57 on the 23rd. Okay.